Welcome into Warped, the eccentric Star Trek podcast, where we occasionally talk about Star Trek episodes amidst other conversations. Tonight, we might actually talk about the episode. No pressure. I'm Erin.
I'm Sean.
My name is Matt.
I'm Jake.
I'm Min.
I'm Min.
Yeah.
That felt like you had put some thought into it this week, Erin.
Although I did miss did anybody ask for it?
Who can say?
Yeah. Oh, you know.
Yeah, I see you gotta work it around. What are we watching today, Erin?
We are watching Deja Q, which was good because I had Deja Q the whole time I was watching it. I was like, oh yeah, Q. What's that about? But I'm sure Matt will explain Q to me.
I don't think I need to. I think you remember Q just fine.
I remember him, but...
You could use a refresher. You wouldn't mind.
I didn't completely remember, but I kind of remember why Guinan hates him, but I don't... Yeah.
We can get into it if you really want to know.
Yeah,
we don't have to, but we can.
I enjoyed him, though. He's great.
He's always good. Well, let's start the show. I got 45 minutes and 48 seconds on the clock, and I'm punching the triangle in 3, 2, 1, punch.
Yeah, so did you like this one, Erin? I think this is one of the... I think this would be on any fan list of
Top 5
best episodes of Star Trek.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a very popular episode.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
There's a lot going on.
I like the cute data back and forth too.
Oh, they have a thing?
It's a great episode for Data. It's a great episode for Q. It's a great episode for Guinan, even though it's that one.
These aliens. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Little anus mouths.
Yeah. I was like, what butt am I looking at right now? Front, back, side to side? What's happening here?
Well, some species don't get to choose how they look. All right.
A lot of them.
Some actors don't get to choose what makeup gets put on their faces.
Yeah.
There needs to be a plastic surgery planet where it can get kind of suited up.
Yeah, can't you teleport her in new parts and combine? No. Yeah. Jesus, it is super distracting though. I understand.
On the right, I'm just like, I get that hole.
You're gonna see some plastic surgery aliens someday on this show. When we get to Star Trek Insurrection, you'll see some plastic surgery.
Some sexy time. Is that when Jerry Ryan's in there or what?
No, you're gonna see some bad plastic surgery.
Oh, bad. It goes wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
Erin wants that 7 of 9 though. She's wondering when's that action? When's that?
Girlfriend.
A little ways, but we'll get to her.
Yeah, it'll be.
We'll be retired.
We'll be going through the next pandemic.
Yeah. But question, who would we send as ambassador to greet these alien species? Because I would totally mess up the diplomacy. I wouldn't be able to stop looking at their mouths and gaping.
Well, that I think is the greatest asset that these Enterprise crew have, is their inability to just completely lose their shit when they see new alien life forms that have butt faces like that.
Yeah,
I see. You're saying that their best quality is that when they pop up on the screen, they don't go, what?
That's why none of us would make it on the Enterprise.
No.
But
we'd be on the 7, 8, there he is.
Yeah,
baby. Gosh.
Q. Speaking of side butt, there it is.
Got some butt
there. Finally, the long-awaited side butt.
Wanted some sexy times.
John
Here it
Delancey
is.
Side butt.
Yeah.
All right, season 3, episode 13, the midway point. Much to Picard's displeasure, Q reappears on the Enterprise, claiming to have been ejected from the Q continuum and therefore lost his powers. Original air date, February 3rd, 1990. Erin, you watched the episode.
Yeah.
What do you think the IMDb rating is? 8?
8.0.
Wow.
All right. May, you watched the episode?
Yup. 7.
Yeah.
Wait for it. 7.
Oh, 7-7.
Yep.
He thinks I.
9.3.
Whoa.
Wow.
Jacob's got a hard on for this one.
Yep, I see it from here.
I'm swinging.
You know, I was also going to say 9.3, but I guess I'll say 9.4, even though I think that's a little too high.
Wow.
You might be right. Who knows? Who knows?
And win
8.3.
8.6.
Oh.
No, it's higher than that. It's better than that.
Yeah, it's.
all right.
I don't know why it's rated so low, but
You guys got to get the word out there. Come on, push up those
I think
ratings.
it's the best Q episode.
I mean, it's up there. I mean, like I said, it would be on my list probably of the 10 best episodes the show ever does. It's a pretty great one. I'm surprised it's so lowly, so low scoring.
Yeah.
I think that's high for these episodes, though.
Yeah.
Oh, tough crowd out there. For these.
There are episodes that get into the 9s.
It is the internet.
That is always true.
That's true.
Although, to all of our Paddington fans out there, Paddington 2, now the highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes,
I'm telling you, man.
overtaking Citizen
I
Kane.
know I said Summer Camp was a fucking masterpiece, but Paddington 2 actually is.
Yeah.
No, that's no joke.
Have you
No.
seen Paddington 2?
No.
It's
time
great.
to cue it up.
It's great.
It is well worth your time.
Because, I still feel like I need to watch Paddington 1 first.
You know,
I
what?
didn't, and I
Maybe.
didn't. It didn't bother me at all. It
Okay,
didn't
can
bother
we
me at
talk
all.
about this full body sweater?
It's a little Paddington.
Who's ready to rock the full body sweater?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, I like that even Q doesn't like it. Like, he complains about it too. He's like,
He
"What
doesn't like
is
the
this
color.
thing I'm wearing?"
So
Yeah.
no color. It's drab gray.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
Didn't he not have options? Did they have just like a limited wardrobe for him?
I feel
What's
like
going
the
on?
card just gave him like the most basic outfit.
Just to fuck with him.
The card doesn't like him anyway, so they're just
Yeah.
like put him in something unflattering. Like, it's
Although he's rocking quite the codpiece there, so
Yeah.
good on you, John Delancey.
This is like a half step above prison garb, I think. Sharply.
yeah.
A little sparkle.
It's prison garb in like the Judge Dredd universe.
It's a prison garb, but you're like running the library in the prison.
Got that soft velour feel.
Got an intellectual kind of an edge.
Mm-hmm.
So regarding John Delancey's nudity, this is a quote from Memory Alpha. This is one of the people who was worked on the show said, as we were prepping the shot, John showed up on the set with his bathrobe on. When we were ready to go, he dropped his bathrobe and he was stark naked. This caused a bit of a stir. Like, I guess they had given him one of those, pouches that you're supposed to wear. And,
Like a male merkin.
yeah, and he had just said, "Never mind. I'm just not going to bother with that."
Scandalous.
Pouch almost sillier than just like letting it all hang out. I don't know. What do you think? Pouch or no pouch?
Well, I mean, this is a professional environment. It's not a porn set, Erin. Please. This is not
Although
a
there
shoot
is
for
lot of-
Boxy
There's a lot
Cat.
of Star Trek porn out
Oh, here
there.
comes one of the greatest lines.
Yeah, you didn't
Eat any good books lately?
It is a pretty good insult.
And that shuts
That
them up.
might be my favorite line from Star Trek Next Generation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
One of the other great ones is in this episode as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is such a heavily memed and gifed.
Well, yeah, the face palm that of
Yeah.
Picard that he just did, that's one of the biggest memes.
Yeah, the mariachis and
Yeah.
This is a very gify episode.
yeah.
Oh, so
It's a great episode.
Q doesn't have any power, so he can't blink in and out. He's just like
Nope.
a normal
He's a
human
human.
being. Interesting.
Have you never seen this episode, Min?
I don't remember it, no.
Okay. And you didn't watch it, so you don't know what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
But
I'm
you
a-
got
a
it.
babe.
You got what's happened. Q
Mhm.
has been punished by the continuum and he's
Mhm.
been tossed out and he asked to be made. He could have been anything mortal and he chose human because he loves his Picard.
Sure.
But
I
he
love how
gets-
they filmed this scene like he's pacing around a huge room. It's not like
Inside-
the 4-foot room that it is.
Right. It's the elevator. I always wonder how they got the camera in there for that little for that little circular thing they were doing.
It's like the Hall of Presidents. I mean, here's another interesting shot they're doing right here. The director went overboard. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had some real style in the photography of it. I think was it that scene where they're in the elevator where it's like a long pan?
Yeah, real 9.3 territory.
Yeah, right.
No, I think you're right.
There's a lot of...
you ever ranked anything on IMDb?
No.
Oh. What kind of person does that, honestly?
Yeah.
I think.
Have you read the reviews on those things? The people who write those reviews are crazy.
I'll start now.
Well, I imagine the people who
I'll
do.
look at it. None of us have ever done it. It's funny.
Well,
that makes me really happy because I would have had some
What's that?
questions.
Yeah. Well,
Any of us had done it? What the hell?
I would have to reevaluate a couple of things if it had turned out that's what people were doing.
Well, I could see a period where someone went through like I had an IMDb rating period, or I did a bunch of Yelp reviews, right? Has anyone done a Yelp review?
I've tried and I get kicked out because I'm not verifiable because I'm so low profile on the internet. They're like, who is this bitch? She's fake.
Facebook
as soon as they're create a login, you're like, nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were gonna go on there and recommend some staffing changes at the Taco Bell in Paw Paw, Michigan.
Oh, that's right.
If I recall correctly. You were gonna go on Yelp and give them some feedback about how they should assign their staff members.
Constructive criticism, yeah, it's true. I still need to do that.
Oof, it's been a while. I mean, hopefully they're still hanging in there.
I mean,
I feel like Taco Bell did okay, because everybody ordered Taco Bell during this thing.
Yeah,
I feel like Taco Bell came through relatively unscathed. I guess you don't need the
Taco Bell.
I mean, you still need the drive-through person because the drive-throughs were mostly open, right? And you still need
the cook,
the person who takes your order. So those two are probably both.
And you need the one that has the douchebag of sour cream.
What?
Yeah. It's more like a squirt gun, isn't it? Isn't it like a...
Looks
it's like a cock gun.
I think it looks like a caulking sort of thing, right? That's what they squirt.
It's more rigid. It's not a bag of sour cream.
No, it's like a metal...
It's like the ones they use, make cakes with, It's like
no, it's not like a pastry bag. I think it's more like a metal...
guys, thanks for...
Wait, Erin, is that what you...
What am I breaking your heart here by telling you these things? Like this...
Erin, is that what you douche with?
It's a metal... Let's move on. It's a metal gun is what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got a trigger, right?
Yeah, and a refillable
God,
tube
you guys
thing.
really know a lot about this fucking sour.
Well,
you spend as much time inside a Taco Bell as we have.
Really see how the sausage is made.
Some of us have humble beginnings, Erin.
Well, what are the beans in? What's the guacamole in? Tell me everything, guys.
The beans are probably in a bowl or something but the guacamole I think is in the same kind of...
It's in the same gun. It's a different gun, but it's the exact same
they use
process.
a similar gun for the guacamole.
And do they just throw the gun out when it's empty?
They refill it.
No, it's got a tube in the back. You fill it up with more sour cream or whatever.
I'll be honest. Sometimes we refill the sour cream gun with guacamole. Is that what you got?
Cool, dude.
This is why you no longer work at Taco Bell. Because
Hey, I'm sure they do it all the time.
After they clean it, I would think. Yes.
You have a miraculous...
And you say you've been to Taco Bell?
You have a very high opinion of Taco Bell.
Oh, they clean everything now.
That's...
I mean...
You'd hope.
You can't take the Taco Bell.
Yeah. That's why we love them.
You haven't gotten sick.
I'm gonna send you a picture. I'm gonna put a picture into the chat so you can see the item that we're talking about. You guys talk amongst yourselves real quick while I get this organized.
Sure.
I'll talk about something that I didn't notice as much the first time, which is how much business there is inside what is supposed to be a brig.
Yeah, right.
There's all these doodads and doohickeys sticking out the walls.
It looks like he's got a water drawer.
The water drawer is fine, but like the rest of the wall looks like.
Isn't that a water drawer he's got there?
Well,
totally.
That's where the pirate was.
We saw that not that long ago, right?
Yeah.
A couple episodes ago.
Yeah, one of those other pouty white guy episodes.
Yeah. Short, dark, handsome.
Oh yeah, it was the terrorist guy
The soldier.
Troy was in love with.
The Captain
The super
America
soldier, the guy with the Winter Soldier.
Q is only a few steps removed from Oompa Loompa for me in his outfit. He just looks a little Oompa Loompa-y right there. I don't the hair. I mean, just take him a little more.
He's like all grown up Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that hard time.
If the Oompa
That's the
Loompa
one.
had taken vitamins, let's see. Oh, guacamole. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, we're here to clear up misconceptions.
Knowledge is power, Erin. Knowledge is power. We're just trying to
sincerely.
I did thank you.
Sarcasm.
Thanks.
I like how you
be blissful in your ignorance.
So how many more Q episodes are there? Just curious.
He shows up about once a season. So
and like just in this world or like other series or like
it's in one episode of DS9.
Oh.
Does he show up in Voyager? I think he does.
He's in like 3 episodes of Voyager.
Okay.
And he's going to be in he's going to be in Star Trek Picard. They announced a while back that he's going to be in the new show.
It was a very cool teaser they did.
Nice.
It was cool.
So if you could hang out with Q versus Guinan, who would it be?
Oh, Guinan.
Who are you asking?
Everybody.
Oh man, nobody's gonna pick Q. He's
really?
I don't know. I almost want to pick. I kind of want to pick Q.
Yeah.
I mean, Guinan's like who you go to if you have a problem, but Q's who you hang out with if you want to party.
You think? Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Q's gonna be fun.
If he's on your side and not giving you shit,
I'm assuming that he's my. I'm assuming in this situation that he's my bro, and he's not gonna do something terrible.
Sure. Well, he's Q, so you're his plaything.
Yeah, you can't rely on.
Yeah, I couldn't relax around him.
No, he's a nice bag.
I'd only want to party with Q if I knew it was going to turn out fine.
Yeah.
If I had any inclination that
I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna party with Q, you gotta be like.
You guys are putting so many like fucking caveats into this imaginary situation. Like,
let people be. Yeah.
You take this seriously, please.
Come on.
putting a lot of rules on.
Fine hanging out with Q. I think you gotta like be able to roll the dice if you're gonna hang out with Q.
Yeah. Otherwise, he's not Q.
Later on, we're gonna see that Q does take a human with him off on his adventures, and she comes back later on, and she's just fine. She's had a blast hanging out with Q. So we need to worry about Q.
I bet Q wouldn't tell a friend what the sour cream gun's really like. He would just let them picture what they want to picture.
Oh, what? You're gonna have to let that go.
So, are you saying you want to hang out with Q then, Erin? Over
No,
Guinan?
I need a Guinan in my life. I think that overrides the need to get crazy these days. But
okay, sure.
I love all this stuff where Q's like, I don't understand how human bodies work, and they're like, oh, you're hungry. Oh, you're feeling an emotion. And he's like, I don't know what any of that shit is, but I don't like it.
And then was he having pains? Was Dr. Crusher having to
he's having some
shoot him up?
Back spasms.
Oh.
Yeah, he was having back spasms, and she's only there because she has to be, but she doesn't really care.
Her hair is so.
What do we think about the wig today?
It's so.
This is the wig I like. I like this wig.
Yeah.
I like the sort of shoulder length Beverly look.
Mm-hmm. Here we go.
Yeah, shoulder.
This is the next best line on this episode coming up.
Oh yeah, talking about some lubricating his bio, whatever.
Well, no, yes. When Data
You
is
guys
describing,
you guys have asked in the past whether Data eats or not.
Yeah.
Here he is giving the
his biofunctions.
the canonical
he
explanation.
greases himself.
Mm-hmm.
And he can eat human food. He just doesn't have to.
Because he says that he eats something suspended in silicon-based.
Yeah, he drinks lube, basically. Like,
Yeah.
keep all of his joints,
He's
going.
like he's that WD-40 mix. Keep it all grooving.
Here it comes. He's telling him, order a chocolate sundae. And he
You know how sometimes you buy flavored lube for like you want to
Right.
do something kind of fun and unconventional? It's like that. It's like strawberry flavored lube or whatever.
Ooh.
He mentions Troy eats chocolate when she's angry every once in a while. And I'm like, Data's probably tracking her period.
Yeah, and I was like,
There she is.
Oh, look at that
like-
outfit.
That's a good outfit.
Wow. That's remarkable.
Guinan might not tell you about the sour cream gun, but I would bet she would figure out a way to guide you to that information.
I would allow that.
Yeah.
You gotta have a gentle delivery on this kind of shocking news, guys.
You guys were a little too blunt.
Sorry.
I just like the idea you think it was a giant plastic bag that they just squeezed out.
Why not?
Yeah, like a piping bag. They used to
Yeah.
Yeah,
cakes.
cake decorating bags.
Come on, it's not that wild of an idea.
I think that takes longer.
I think they have that shit worked out to the millimeter, and one squirt of the gun is a precise amount of sour cream,
Yeah.
and they would not want to give that much power to the people with the sour cream
I was like,
by giving them a cake bag and just saying squirt however much
Have
you
at
want.
yeah, let's get into their overhead.
Well, you know they like
The profit
they're the
margins
ones
on
that have
this
like
restaurant
the
are very
rule. If it's too heavy, they have to throw it away and redo it. Like it has to weigh a certain amount.
Oh wow.
What? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
they have
too
rules.
heavy.
If it's too light.
Taco Bells are run like Gestapo train stations.
Yeah, like
Oh.
Everything
Raise
is.
your hand if you've worked at a Taco Bell.
I didn't hear any raised hands.
you used to work at. Are you the only one that's worked in food service, Matt? Has anybody else worked in food service?
Yeah, I worked at.
It's in a cafeteria.
I've worked at a smoothie place.
Oh.
I work catering.
Min?
No, I don't think so. Not a food
I've never
related.
worked in
No.
food.
But you want to know who did not have good food management policies? Soup Plantation. Because
Oh
we
yeah.
would just go into the walk-in cooler and just eat whatever we felt like.
Yes, like sliced mushrooms. I'm on it.
Now that's how you get COVID.
Yeah. Now, looking back on it, I realized how unsanitary it was. But, they used to make that like cheesy focaccia bread, and we would just go in there and just like eat shit out of the walk-in that we weren't supposed to be touching with our bare hands. You're welcome, America.
Soup Plantation. They're closed now.
It's like if you ever read. Did anybody else ever read Kitchen Confidential, the book that Anthony Bourdain wrote that kind of put him on the map? It's all about the shit that goes on in behind the scenes in restaurants, right?
Yeah.
And the basic premise of it is that if you knew what went on in restaurants, you would never eat in one ever again, because that's just how human beings are, and you just have to pretend you don't know whatever might be going on back there.
Word
Especially
to the
these
wise.
days.
Well, and I was a food co-op in college, so it was just run by college kids. So you can imagine.
Sounds very sanitary.
Yeah, I remember we dropped like a whole tray of bacon and we just put it back on the tray.
God.
I'm guessing there was more than a dozen times that people had sex on the counters where they served food.
Probably. I mean, it was open. You could get in there anytime.
Oof.
That had a walk-in.
Mm.
Yeah.
Doing it in the walk-in freezer.
Doing it in the walk-in.
Did you ever do it in the walk-in at Soup Plantation, Matt?
No. This was in the
Did you
high
hear
school.
stories of people who did do it
These were my high school years, so there wasn't a lot of doing it at all. in any situation or room.
I feel like the walk-in's a bad choice.
It's cold.
Yeah, you might have some shrinkage.
Well, there's the dry walk-in too. It's not it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the cold room. It could just be the where they keep like the grains and stuff.
Show me a picture. I want to see a picture of this dry walk-in.
Sounds like a sauna.
It looks exactly like a cold walk-in, except there's no air conditioning in it. It's just a room.
It's a storage place for bread.
Where they keep rice and shit.
Yeah.
Pantry.
He's not going to show you a picture. He's just going to guide you to the.
Yeah, it's a pantry, but they don't call it that bad. They don't call it a pantry. They call it the dry walk-in.
Dry walk-in. I want a dry walk-in in my house.
That's what they call it. I don't know how other restaurants do it, but at Soup Plantation, that fucker was called the dry walk-in.
Love it.
You could use one at your house, Erin. I mean, you guys are getting to the point where you could use a what do they call those rooms where you come in from like the farm, the wet room, the
mud room.
The
hey
mud
guys,
room.
guess what? We have the wet walk-in. Do you know what that is?
No.
Clue. Hot tubs installed, babies.
Oh,
that's huge.
Sweet.
For ya. Each seat has a different jet situation.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay.
How many seats does it have?
Well, it has like 4 deep seats and then more other seats. So
Can we waterproof the mics so we could podcast?
We're gonna
get on it, producer.
Sure. We can put like a Ziploc over them.
Be like a little extra bit of danger.
I'm sure that'll sound great.
Yeah, the bubbles. I can't hear you over the bubble.
Well, people have dealt with us during this whole quarantine Skype session. So if they've hung with us this far, then they
Not sure I agree with the premise of your observation there, man.
Dry walk-ins? Is that what you're sending through here?
I sent you a picture of dry walk-in and a cold walk-in right next to each other.
Oh, wow.
This is I like all of this stuff. I realize we aren't talking very much about the episode this week, but all of this stuff is very good. All of the Data Q interactions and all of the stuff about, what does it mean to be human? And this is a great episode for Data. He gets to do a lot of his.
I want to be a human, and you're like bitching about it.
Yeah, they have kind of a cool.
Yeah, it's good back and forth.
Call it a friendship, but they have like a cool relationship in this episode where they're both approaching the same problem of what it's like to be human, but they're approaching it from opposite directions. It's cool.
Was that you, Erin, who had that reaction when the butt faces came on again? I thought of faces. I apologize.
This woman, the woman who is talking right now, though, has, I have to say, an extremely irritating voice. Oh. Every time I watch this episode, I'm like, oh, this one again.
It's all bad. It's all bad.
But I would have thought that you, of all the people from the group, I would have elected you to send over to them to be our ambassador. And it sounds like you would also have failed.
Well, it's like I've gotten used to like the main weird looking characters. But when they throw in like some of these others, I'm just like, okay. Here we go.
You like some ugly animals, though. Like,
how are your possums doing, by the way?
Great. Something was scratching on the plank that basically prevents possums from entering our house. So something's going on down there.
More possums? I don't know.
This is the time that they would be
boning. Actually, they'd be having the babies
by now. Yeah, but they're not as. If there are babies, they're not as bold as the last crew that popping up under our furniture.
That was a good little moment there too with Q, where he's like, "Who the fuck is Geordi?" And Data's like, "Geordi's the boss around here, so everybody has to just do what he says."
Q's learning about teamwork.
Yeah, Data's trying to talk to him about how it's important to work together to accomplish goals, which Q has never had to deal with.
Yeah,
he's all powerful, right?
Yeah.
And he's not being allowed to be in charge, even though he feels like because he's the smartest, he should be in charge.
Oh,
So do you want a quick Q reminder, Erin? Do you really want that?
One, actually, because I remember him from before, but I was trying to remember because Guinan's past is a little bit mysterious, like how much we know about that part of it. But anything, go for it.
Sure. So Guinan, Q is in the very first episode of this show. He's in the pilot, and he's been sort of a recurring pain in their ass ever since. And the episode where he meets Guinan is also the first episode where they meet the Borg. Q sends them off to. He's trying to make a point, and he shoots them all the way across the universe.
That's right.
And they meet the nasty Borgs. The Borgs are the one with the robot parts, right? Do you remember what the Borgs kind of vaguely look like? And there's a moment in that episode where you realize that Q and Guinan have met before.
Right.
And she does a weird like hex thing with her hands where she's looked like she's about to spell on him. And you're like, ooh, what's Guinan's whole deal? Because they always leave that kind of mysterious. You don't really know a lot about her or what her powers are, but she certainly seems to have some kind of powers, even though they're never explained. So that's the only other time we've seen them together. This is the second time that we've seen them together. And that's why she was so happy to see him depowered, because his backstory is that he tortured her like people back in the day.
Right, that's right.
So they have a past together, and that's why she.
And the Borg have a past with her people too, right?
They do.
Okay.
Guinan has met
I
both
guess I
the
got
Borg
mixed up,
and
like,
the
what's Borg, what's Q?
Yeah.
Q.
So that's why that scene of her stabbing him with the space fork is so awesome, because she's just like pissed off at him all the time.
Plus, we get to see a close-up of the space fork again.
The space fork, we kind of missed it, but it is hilarious.
Yeah.
It looks like it bears no resemblance to anything you would ever actually use.
They must have those in some weird gift shop.
I mean, it makes me wonder if they made those or if somebody found those in some weird ass like utensil store.
I'm gonna have to find some space forks for our next get together.
I'm sure you can buy them. I'm sure there's a Star Trek
replica
branded space forks out there if you looked around.
Those space forks are so dangerous looking. Like if you were just a little off, you would just impale yourself.
You could absolutely kill someone. They're just 3 spikes on the end of the head.
Let's find out for our warped Dateline crossover episode.
You know, if you killed someone with a space fork, you'd probably get away with it because the coroner would never be able to figure out what the murder weapon was.
Yeah, there's these 3 points of entry.
Coroner would be like, what the fuck makes 3 triangle holes in somebody's neck?
I don't know. I feel like
they'll know right away.
Yeah, if they were Trek nerds, then you'd be
like, it's a space fork.
I've been waiting for this day.
I've seen this before.
I think I need.
Remember when Guinan stabbed Q?
So shut up, Johnny. Everything's coming up, Johnny.
Coroner comes running into the DA's office. I've cracked the case.
Yeah, with a printout of that still from the show.
Just Whoopi Goldberg slamming a fork.
I think the Venn diagram is it exists of forensic.
Oh yeah, coroners and Star Trek fans are probably there's probably a good crossover there. Let's see, Etsy has a whole subcategory called Star Trek forks.
Oh wow!
Of course they do.
I never would have thought.
That's great. I'll look.
Can you get those circular playing cards?
All right, I'm gonna get the space forks, the circle cards,
sour cream.
You need a sour cream. You need a sour cream gun
and a guac gun.
Guac gun.
Yeah.
You need to install a dry room in the garage.
And the mud room as well.
So how's the hot tub working out? Like,
great.
Are you excited with it? Have you been enjoying it?
For the first time last night. So,
so it's brand new. That's excellent.
Brand new, yeah. They installed it this week, so
Nice.
There's been
I
like
like
a
when
backlog of hot tubs, but we lucked out. We got like the last hot tub in Torrance.
There's a backlog on hot
There's
tubs.
been increased
Rawr.
demand and issues with the supply chain, which there's been all kinds of supply chain issues during COVID. But the thing that happened here was the plastic is made in Texas and it got affected by that freeze out. So that slowed down. Anyway.
We've got one on order that's supposed to come in June.
Yeah, some of them are, but this one was ordered like in August. We didn't order it, but the guy did. So it's been that long. You're just waiting for this one to come.
Wow.
Just been, various things slowing down the supply chain.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, I don't have a backyard, but I do have a front yard. So I could put the hot tub in the front yard. That probably violates some kind of
Get one of those inflatable ones. You can
zoning restrictions or something.
About
inflate
decency?
it, set it up, and then break it
What's
down.
indecent? I'm not suggesting I'm going to go in there.
How do you heat it?
Why would it be indecent, man, if I just went in there, in my bathing suit or whatever?
Yeah.
You saying my body is so repulsive that even in a bathing suit, people would alert the authorities
Well, you
and
could
be
have
like,
full body sweaters like you, so that would be up to code.
You just have to go swimming in a wetsuit in your hot tub.
uh-huh.
And this is according to men, not me. I think it's perfectly fine for you to go out there naked.
I
Thanks,
think people would
son.
love it.
I wasn't talking about going naked.
But
Nobody has
even
said
if you
anything
were
about
naked, it would not be indecent.
Not to
The
Sean.
human
Sean
form
is
is
totally
beautiful.
okay with it.
Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that.
Sean's totally on Q's side in this episode.
Well, men wouldn't want Tom Cruise out there, so don't think like that.
Yeah. Well, he's not coming anytime soon. All right. Guys, don't invite Tom Cruise. Oh, not Tom Cruise again.
Please welcome our surprise guest.
Once I get
Straight
that
from-
swim pool installed in my hot tub area.
I mean, I'm looking forward to that, but meanwhile, I know where I'm going to be.
Oh.
Where's that?
Taco
Bell.
Yeah.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, Taco
Are you
Bell.
going to bring? I don't know.
Yeah, we might want to plan out when we have Taco Bell and when we get in the hot tub. We might need to. There's not going to be as many rules as hanging out with Q, but there might need to be just
you have to time that.
whatever you want. We got chemicals.
Are you saying we're not allowed to eat Taco Bell in the hot tub? Is that what you're saying?
In the hot tub.
Wait. So we can podcast in the hot tub
Before
but we
the
can't
hot
eat
tub.
Taco Bell?
No, I'm with Erin. I have a lot of rules before I'll get in the hot tub. So
we're thinking like.
Why don't you give me? Here's what we'll do, Erin. You give me your list of can'ts, and I'll give you my list of won'ts, and we'll see how they match up.
Is that Corbin Bernstein?
It's Corbin Burnson, everybody.
Wow.
He looks good.
Uncredited cameo by Corbin Burnson.
So he's like another Q
He is.
and a Q embodiment.
Yeah, the Qs are more than the Qs are. There's lots of Qs.
Okay, that
And
reminds
it's
me.
like humans. He just chooses that form.
Yeah,
Did you say cumins?
cumin.
Yeah, they are.
Cumin. That's a good spice.
Honestly, this performance, it's a bit much.
He is making some choices.
Really?
Is hacky.
I think this is what cost us our 9.3.
Bathing in the river of ham.
He's
I
trying
guess
to be as cool as the other guy.
Yeah.
I guess it does kind of knock it down like 3 or 4 percentage points because he is pretty over the top in this scene. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this guy and the lady alien. I think you're right, Matt.
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you
it's
think
what,
he
it's
was-
what keeps it from being a perfect 10, I guess.
From being a 9.3.
Yep, perfect 9.3.
That's what brought it down to the 8.6. Do you think that he was trying to match what he thought the real Q was doing, or the first
Yeah.
Q was
I
doing?
think so, yeah. But John Delancey just has a lot more style and class than Corbin Burnson does.
And
Yeah, it doesn't work
naturalness.
on.
Yeah.
Corbin Burnson's not cool when he's wacky. That's not his shtick.
Mhm.
He's the uptight guy.
Yeah.
that's where he works, you know.
So who would make a better second Q? Or have there been other Qs? Have we seen other Qs later on?
We have not seen
yeah,
yet.
you will
This
someday.
is the first other one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you go to the Q Continuum at one point, right? Hang out with these guys.
Wow. Who would be your picks for good Qs?
So Corbin Burnson on LA Law was the man slut. Like that was his character on LA Law. It was like he was the player. So he was supposed to be like the sexy one.
Yeah, he is. He's good as the dad on Psych. I like Psych.
Is your question people who we know would be good as a Q?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sigourney Weaver.
Oh. Interesting.
Tom Lennon and Darren Criss do like Q-like characters on Supergirl. So they.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they play like imps that have magical powers. It's a character called Mix.
Oh, is it Mr. Mixelplick?
Yeah.
One of them, Mr. Mixelplick. Uh-huh. When I was a kid, there's been a lot of debate over the years about how to pronounce that particular character's name. Because it has no vowels in it. There's a Y.
It's supposed to be hard. I don't remember how they pronounced it on that show.
When I was a kid, I always thought it was Mixelplick, which that's not how they call it. That's not how they say it now in modern day TV shows or whatever. I love this scene. Look how pissed off.
So is this scene racist?
No.
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 I guess it's a real mariachi band in the background there. Is that racist?
Sexist?
No, that's sexist.
Definitely.
I love Will. He says, "I don't need your fantasy women." And he says it in a very Riker-y kind of way. Like,
oh, that's funny.
I can get my bitches for myself.
You got a beard.
Yeah, he's like, you've become a lot more boring since you got the beard.
Love it.
Min, do you care at all about what happened? Do you understand what happened? Do you care?
Yeah, I do care.
If you don't.
Mm-hmm. No, I care.
You're the only person who hasn't seen this. You're out of all of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, the Corbin Burnson character came on, and then after that, Q got his powers back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you know why? Do you understand why?
I was eating a slice of pizza.
Yeah.
What's on your pizza?
Veggies, lots of veggies.
Yeah.
Corn, artichoke hearts, mushrooms, green peppers, garlic, jalapenos.
Stan made pizza for dinner tonight. And your pizza and my pizza would hate each other because my pizza only has pepperoni and sausage and bacon on it.
Just
and your pizza has nothing but vegetables.
Actually, if those pizzas,
or did you order it?
It's Blaze. I went out for pizza. If our pizzas had a baby, they'd be Supreme pizzas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's right. The kings of pizza.
Data's having a moment here. What the heck?
Okay, quick, Min.
Mm-hmm.
Q, a bunch of mean. He's really
laughing at Data laughing.
I think he's really great in this moment.
He really goes for it.
Yeah, he really nailed it.
Oh, and then he's Data.
He went to Charlie Chaplin there. That's funny.
This is so great. This is such a great moment. Like, Data gets to laugh. It's wonderful. This is a terrific episode.
It is.
We mostly talked about other stuff this week, but this is a terrific episode. This is 9.4 material. I'm sorry.
Agreed.
I don't care if the butt faces are irritating or whatever. It's
fine.
Corbin Burnson needed to be reined in by the director.
They just distract me from stuff when they look too wacky.
I feel like you're a very visual person. You always, partly it's because we're not listening to the dialogue.
Yeah.
There you go.
But you really clue in on the visual parts of the show sometimes, which
I don't think that in general about myself, but sci-fi is hard to ignore.
Sure. It's not realistic.
Like when you look on Netflix and you see the cast photos for the different, because I get the the spinning wheel of different
drink, he pulled his shirt
down. Watch Star Trek on it, so it shows me the different, and I'm just like, oh boy, who's that guy? There's always like one person that just looks like totally out there in the like cast photo.
Yeah, like they always have 6 humans and one crazy
and then just
alien.
one like totally wacky.
So that you know it's set in outer space. They have to have one crazy alien.
It makes me laugh every single time when I see it come through.
On this show, it's Worf, but yeah, every show has that. You're absolutely right.
Yeah. There's Ferengis in one of them. I'm just like, what's happening?
Yep.
I'm impressed you remembered the word Ferengi.
Man.
I just tried to like release the blockages and I just said it and it just came.
Yeah.
Don't ever question Erin's knowledge, man. She's on top.
It's just Star Trek. You don't have to overthink it, really.
Well, that's a good motto for 2021.
Oh, but some
what happened then is that Q, a bunch of aliens that Q used to torment when he had his powers, came to the Enterprise and came to kill Q. But meanwhile, the Enterprise is trying to save this planet from blowing up, right?
The butt-faced people.
And they can't do it. And they can't do both at the same time. They can't save Q and stop the planet from blowing up at the same time. So Q decides, because of his interactions with Data and what he's learned about humanity, he got a little twinge of feeling bad. So he decided to take a shuttlecraft and fly out away so that the mean aliens would follow him, so that Picard would be able to save the planet. So it was a distraction move, but he did it knowing that he was probably going to die because he'd lost all his powers and become human. So it's sort of a self-sacrificing move. So then Corbin Burnson showed up as the other Q, and he was like, oh, we've been watching you to see what you were going to do, and because you did this nice thing, it proves that you're not a total 100% asshole. You have some tiny sliver of sympathy and compassion in you. So we're giving you your powers back. So then he showed up on the bridge all happy because he got his powers back. And Picard's like, get off my bridge, Q. This is a bad time, which is what he always says. And then because Data had been so nice to Q and had helped him sort of resolve this understanding of humanity dilemma that he was going through, Q said, I'm going to give you a present. And Data said, I don't want you to make me a human. And Q's like, oh, no, I would never do that to you. That's cruel. Instead, he just gives him like one moment of like genuine laughter. Because they talked earlier in the episode about how Data has never laughed before. So that was the gift that Q gave to Data. Oh, and he solved the planet blowing up problem too, as he was going out.
That's very sweet. That's very sweet.
So that's what happened in the episode.
It's interesting that it was laughter and not like love or something.
Well, they specifically talked about like Data said something like I'll never laugh or I'll never cry, but it would be pretty depressing to end the episode on Q giving Data a good cry on the bridge.
I don't know. I mean, show him life is beautiful.
I think if Fred Spider just burst into tears in that moment, the message would be a little muddled. Like,
different, yeah. Certainly.
He was trying to do a nice thing for Data.
Well, that was very sweet. Then we see a redeeming side of Q.
Yeah.
So we see a slightly redeeming side of Q. There's this ongoing debate about Q, whether Q is is Q evil or is he just chaotic? You know, what's his alignment, man? Is basically what I'm asking, you know? Is he chaotic neutral? Is he chaotic good? Like, I don't quite know.
Yeah, where's his line?
Because he kind of behaves differently in different episodes. So it's a little hard to get a handle on him because I think different writers wrote him in slightly different ways. So
it'd be interesting.
It's a little nicer.
It'd be interesting to see what happens after this point, because now he's had this moment of realization. So we presume he'll have this knowledge in future episodes, like he had this moment. So how's he going to act?
He doesn't. He kind of goes back to being his same old irritating.
No.
You know,
humans are worthless.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of him is to be just this thorn in Jean-Luc's side, you know?
Yeah.
So they can't make him too cuddly-wuddly, because then it's like, well, what's the point of having him on the show? Like, he has to be semi-antagonistic so that there's a point to the episode. So
Okay.
he goes back
Right.
to being a troublemaker pretty quickly after this.
I've always said I thought it was weird. They never did a Q movie. I always thought it was an obvious choice.
Yeah.
But looks like we're going to get a 10-hour Q movie when he's in Picard next season.
Oh, he's going to be in a number of episodes.
I mean, I think the season's going to be all about him.
Oh.
They made it pretty obvious he was going to have a very large part.
What about Guinan? Is she coming on?
She is.
He is.
Yes.
And LeVar Burton is hosting Jeopardy.
There you
He's
go,
become a
Matt.
permanent host.
No, he's not. No one's permanent yet,
hosting.
but he's going to be one of the guest hosts.
Okay, I was just curious if they finally.
Yay. How do you feel about that, Matt? I mean, you were championing that.
What?
LeVar Burton is going to be
Jeopardy.
Sure. Great. Yeah.
that'll
They should
be.
just give him the job. I mean, he's the obvious choice for it.
Right.
Well, do you think they're like auditioning basically people by doing
I
this?
think-
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
it's so
exactly what
funny.
they-
It's like they're like. I love. There was like something I saw online. And it was like people on the internet. We want LeVar Burton. Well, how about this guy? We want LeVar Burton. How about this guy? No, we told you we want LeVar Burton. Like. It's
Yeah.
what everybody wants, but yet they keep throwing other people up there.
Weird. Yeah.
They're gonna
Maybe.
make Corbin, what's his name, the new.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The
Gonna
only,
make the
the
butt
only thing I've-
face.
the only negative that I've heard about having LeVar Burton take over as the host is that he's already 64 years old. So if they're trying to find somebody who's going to do it,
for a while.
for the next 25, 30 years, the
He's
way
got that many
No,
years in
but-
him. Come on.
if he's
That would be a
64,
drawback.
he's not going to still be hosting Jeopardy in 30 years.
How old
So-
was Alex Trebek when he passed away?
He was 80,
Yeah.
I think, or thereabouts. I read his book. It was quite fun, actually. His little
no.
memoir that he did. I enjoyed it.
And I think he could do it long enough until we have the technology for it to be cyborg Alex Trebek coming back.
Oh, virtual.
Hmm.
Be like
I don't know.
in-
Not
in
the
like a
same.
Max Headroom style,
yeah, like
Yep,
brain
yep,
in a
yep.
jar type stuff.
where he glitched all the time, or more of a Futurama head in a jar
I don't know.
kind of way.
Yeah. How about neither? Well,
So anyway, my point is, if they're looking for somebody who's going to do it for the next
yeah.
generation or two,
Wow, that's a lot to ask.
that might be a knock against him.
Sure.
I'm not talking. I'm saying as if I'm a producer and I'm
Right,
choosing.
right.
These are the things I'm thinking about.
Sure.
How long can LeVar Burton really do it? And if he can only do it for, a few more years, then we find ourselves right back where we were trying to pick somebody who can do it for a long time.
But he's not bad. If he's not bad for a few years, I would take those few
Yeah,
years.
and maybe if he's like, "Hey, I'll do it for, I'll sign a 5-year contract or a 6-year
Yeah.
contract," and that's long enough that
Yeah.
then they can, find the next person.
Then they can start working on who the next person will be after that.
Yeah.
Right.
And then LeVar Burton can get to Marvel from there. And excited.
Has he said he's going to be in the next season of Picard?
He is not.
Oh,
They know
he's
that
not.
Q's confirmed, Guinan's confirmed. Gates McFadden is being a little sketchy online whenever she gets asked about it. So, but
Are
it
we seeing
seems
more
like maybe Beverly might be in this season.
Brent Spiner? Data? What about Data?
I
He
think
was in the
Data's-
last one a
Oh,
little.
He died. He died.
He died.
What?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
His character
Star
died.
Trek card. Yes, Brent Spiner is still with us, but I mean, but then Data. Then again, Data's died before.
That
Death
is true.
Death is not
They
necessarily
gave him a
permanent.
pretty strong death
Star Trek.
scene. I think that'd be
And it's
weird
the
to bring him back.
Future.
It
It
you know?
would piss
it
me
would be-
off.
It would be weird story wise to bring him back because
Yeah.
they really did like
Yeah.
put a sort of definitive cap on the whole Data thing.
Yeah.
So it would be strange to have him back.
Other than in flashback style.
Yeah, if they were going to do maybe like dream sequences or flashbacks or something like that, or have him play, that guy down on the planet or whatever.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
What if they put his voice into an object or something? Like he became like a.
No, that's
BB-8.
exactly what they had done, and they
And I don't want a brain in a box, man. I don't-
no.
Okay.
The episode's over, you guys. It's good.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. That's a good one. We're in second half of season 3, everybody. It's when the show gets good.
Erin, do you want to tell people how they can find us online if they would like?
Oh, how much time you got?
As much time as you need.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to hear me grasp at various.
Why don't you take it away, man?
Thank you all very much for listening to Warped. Please follow us on iTunes. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. You can go to Instagram.com at Warped the Podcast, and our merch is at lunar_flare. You can email us at warpedthepodcast.com. We're on Twitter at Warped Trek. You can follow me on Twitter at Host Warped. You can follow Min to learn about our Dungeons and Dragons and Call of Cthulhu live streams and podcasts. The Call of Cthulhu podcast is extremely funny, I have to say, Min.
Yay. Off the wagon.
At Maynard. And you can, most importantly, go to patreon.com/warped, become a subscriber, and get access to bonus material and additional content, including this week a very funny conversation about Madonna's 90s sex book, Sex.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bonus material for this week.
Cool.
Very good.
Take us out, Erin.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. If you made it this far, good night.
And what's your name?
Oh, I'm Erin.
I'm Sean.
That's right. Deja Q.
I'm Jake.
I'm Minwin.
Name.
Yeah.
Yay!